When I was in first grade, I met Alex. Honestly, I don't know what disability Alex has, but I do know that he is one of my favorite people that I've ever met. The two of us were in the same class during first grade, and I remember loving that we were friends. Meeting and becoming friends with Alex was the first moment in my life that I realized how great it can be to be friends with everyone, regardless of our differences. I truly believe that if I never met Alex, I would not have realized how much I enjoy working with individuals with disabilities. Alex and I continued to see each other less and less as the years went on, with him moving to a separate classroom for most of middle and high school, but we continued to be friendly when we saw each other. We ended up getting closer to each other later on, which is a part of my life that I will get into later. The next part of my life that greatly influenced my views on disabilities didn't happen until I was a freshman in high school. That year, I started volunteering with my all-star cheerleading gym special athlete team, Shining Stars. Shining Stars consisted of individuals with varying disabilities, and each was partnered up with a buddy to help them learn the routine and perform throughout the season. My first season helping with Shining Stars, I was partnered with a young girl named McKinley who had Down syndrome. I loved working with McKinley as her bubbly and funny personality always brightened my day. I also loved to see how excited she would get to perform her routine and learn new skills, and it made me happy that I was a part of that excitement. I realized that being a part of Shining Stars was something that made me really happy, and I knew that I wanted to continue to work with the team. My second year working with Shining Stars, I was paired up with a boy named Rob. Rob has autism, and he is completely nonverbal. Being honest, I was a little nervous to work with Rob at first, as he is taller and stronger than me, and I was worried about what would happen if I upset him. I was also a little nervous about how it would go, considering that we could not communicate in what you would consider a traditional way. However, Rob and I ended up getting closer than I could have ever imagined. I always say that Rob came into my life at the perfect time. When I started to get close to him, I was going into my junior year of high school, which is the time that you're supposed to be deciding what you want to do with your life. I had no clue what I wanted to go to school for. I was considering teaching, but I knew that that wasn't what would make me happy. As the year went on, Rob and I started to form an incredible bond. I found myself knowing what he was thinking by the look in his eyes, and he started to listen and respond to directions that his family never thought were possible. The two of us were a great pair, and I loved how happy coming to cheer practice made him. One practice, I was trying to teach Rob some new skills, as I could tell that he was getting bored with doing the same old, same old. I ended up getting him to mimic me spinning in a circle and jumping off the tumbling mats, and the look of excitement on his face made me incredibly happy. One of the athlete's moms then decided to talk to me about considering going into autism therapy or social work for individuals with disabilities, and that's when it finally clicked in my head that that's my passion. I ended up continuing to be partners with Rob on Shining Stars until I graduated high school, and I still try to keep in touch with Rob and his dad when I come home from school, and I also make sure to visit Shining Stars practices whenever I can. As I said before, Alex and I also were able to get closer later on in my life. That happened during my senior year of high school. I had tried to sign up for a teaching class that year, but because of a conflict in my schedule, the school ended up placing me into a different class that I had no idea existed. For this class, I ended up going to the special education room and helping out for one period every day. This is another thing that I consider was meant to be. During this, I was able to get closer than ever to Alex, meet and work with all the different special education teachers and paraprofessionals in our building, go with the class on different field trips, and meet so many other incredible students that I probably would have never met if I was not in that class. I ended up taking the same class my second semester senior year, and it was by far my favorite part of my senior year of high school. During this time, I was able to meet so many other incredible individuals like Maddie, Bryce, Manny, and Alyssa. These students were who I would consider to be my best friends during that year, and they always knew how to put a smile on my face even on the worst days. Another person who has had a great impact on how I view disability is my boyfriend, Ryan. Ryan and I met the summer before our freshman year here at Whitewater, and he is a member of the wheelchair basketball team here. When he was a kid, he used to play able-bodied sports until he found out that his Achilles tendons are shortened. Because of this, Ryan has had about 8 surgeries on his feet and can no longer play able-bodied sports due to the fact that his tendons could snap. He ended up joining wheelchair basketball as a kid. He found out about it from his brother Nick, who has a cognitive disability and is an amputee. I have learned a lot about both invisible disabilities, as well as what it can be like to have a family member with a disability due to Ryan. I have also met so many other people from the wheelchair basketball team that I would never have known if it weren't for Ryan, like his best friend Jake and one of my closest friends, Zerby. I met Lindsay, who he calls Zerby, my freshman year through Ryan and his friend Jake, and she and I have become good friends. For being one of the best wheelchair basketball players I know, she is also one of the most humble people I know. After becoming paralyzed when she was a teenager, Zerby went on to become an amazing wheelchair basketball player. She is currently on the USA wheelchair basketball team and is hoping to be able to play in Japan at the Paralympics. She has played basketball all over the world and has won a silver medal at the Paralympics. Zerby's determination never fails to inspire me. She has a heart of gold and never lets anything stop her from working towards her goals. Zerby has shown me that no matter what happens, you can always work hard and achieve your dreams, and I am so glad to have become friends with her. The most recent event that occurred in my life that influenced how I viewed disability was when I volunteered at Camp Awesome last summer. After finding out about the summer camp from a patient at my dad's work, I quickly signed up to join. Camp Awesome is a summer camp for children with autism. I volunteered at the youth camp, which is a week-long overnight camp for children up to age 15. I learned a lot after my week at Camp Awesome. I was able to learn from several different professionals who work in that area, and I am most inspired by the way in which we are taught to work calmly and collectively with these individuals at all times. I was able to meet many great campers, and I had so much fun getting to know them all. Camp Awesome was one of the best weeks of my summer, and I'm definitely planning on going back again. Overall, there have been many individuals and instances in my life that have shaped how I view disabilities. I have learned many life lessons from each of these individuals, and I am so thankful to have gotten to know each and every one of them. I think what many people fail to understand is that people with disabilities are just like people without disabilities. They're fun to be around, they're hardworking athletes, and they're great friends. I truly believe that I would not be the same person that I am today if these people hadn't come into my life.